Hey there. I'm going to start this morning with a philosophy joke. Rene Descartes, the famous philosopher who said, "I think, therefore I am." And normally you tell this joke without explaining who Descartes is because you assume people know. But, it's been so many years since I heard of Rene Descartes that I thought I would preface it. So Rene Descartes, philosopher, famous line, "I think, therefore I am." And that's an amazing concept in and of itself. And just think about that for a while. But Rene Descartes walks into a bar and the bartender says, "Mr. Descartes, would you like a drink?" And he said, "I think not." And then he disappeared. I was going through yesterday, and yesterday was kind of a big day for me. It was a milestone birthday, and a couple things were heavy on my mind. And I'm thinking, wow, I've got this heavy stuff on my mind on such a day. And I was actually a little glum for a little bit there, and I'm hardly ever glum. And my son wrote a note, and he said, thank Dad for this and that and a bunch of things. And they all meant a lot to me, but the last line was, "in teaching me that happiness is a choice." And I realized here I am a little glum, and I know I can use my thought process to change my mood so easily. But no matter how present that knowledge is to us, sometimes it might just not be accessible. And I know it. My focus is always on how thoughts can change your whole life and how you can use thoughts for different things. And I'm consumed by that. But for that moment in time, and it was more than a moment, it was a little bit of the morning. Me who talks about that all the time, let that go for a minute. And I had to be reminded by my son, who didn't even know that's where I was at that moment in time. I was thinking about some things and just being concerned for some people that are going through some stuff. And I found myself there at that moment, just in a little bit of worry. And I had to pull back and look at that. When he said happiness is a choice, well, positive thinking is a choice too, that I teach over and over and over to anyone who will listen. And I needed to be taught that or reminded about that at that moment in time. And I guess my point here is we're not perfect. We know things, we practice things, but we're not perfect. Whatever you do, you're not perfect. You strive for perfection, and that's great. And you may be an expert in something, and you may work day in and day out at doing that thing, but you're going to have an off moment. And you need to give yourself a little bit of grace, have a little bit of chuckle, and move on. I had to chuckle at that wow, he's thanking me for reminding him of that, and I needed to be reminded of that, and his thank you reminded me of that at that moment in time. So whatever you're doing, if you have that off moment, just kind of give yourself a little bit of grace, have a little bit of a chuckle, and move on. Hope this helps. Have a great, great, great day.